Hey everyone, welcome back to OCD Recovery's YouTube channel, where today I just want to talk about what recovery is like, what that feels like on a day-to-day basis, why I think a lot of people get this wrong on the internet, and they explain OCD recovery from a standpoint that's obviously not OCD recovery, which is okay. A lot of people are on the journey, but there's a misinterpretation of what recovery is. There's one definition of OCD recovery, just like there's one definition of sobriety. Many people have heard me say that. Before I go any further, please subscribe, hit that like button down below. Let me know what you think about this video, and let's just jump right into it. So on a day-to-day basis, it's not some bliss state. There's no chronic suffering, but it's very similar to how I would feel if I didn't have OCD 99% of the time, but with a lot better problem-solving abilities and control over my emotions in a non-forceful way. Things go wrong in my life all the time. I work with more OCD sufferers than most people on this planet for longer, consistent periods of time over years than most people can maintain for months. It's not a bragging thing. It's just the reality of it because I have OCD. I have people ask me every day, how do you put up with us? How do you do it? How do you do 13 calls in a row, multiple days in a row? Which I don't tend to do that many. And I say, you need to build up to that. I didn't start by doing that. And the problem solving that I have now from doing that is exponentially greater than I would have ever imagined if I wouldn't have OCD. But it's definitely not a bliss state. I don't support or like anything where anyone is explaining a recovery state of any drug, alcohol, loss of a loved one, after a tragic event, losing their legs, severe OCD as bliss. It's just not, it's nonsense, it's childish, it's not true. It feels incredible in many times, but it's never dictated off an emotion. I made a TikTok earlier today where I said, I spend zero time thinking about happiness. None, zero. I can't even tell you the last time I had a singular thought of, am I happy doing this? That isn't even in my core belief system foundation at all. I look for contentment in my life, but not even in a forceful way. I'm content with whatever's happening in my life until I die. So it's an amazing experience because I have no expectations. That doesn't mean I don't prefer to feel a certain way, but if I'm sad or upset or I cry during a movie or I have a disagreement with my wife or my mom or my sister or someone, or me and my friends are arguing on the golf course because they think they're better than golf than me, which they're not. I've been playing for 3 fucking months. I'm an idiot. Or something like that. The frustration can be there, but I'm never saying, oh my God, I shouldn't be fighting on the golf course right now. This is my me time. I used to do that all the time. Most people do that. They have situations in their mind, vacation, birth of their children, wedding days, big anniversaries, where they believe that the world owes them the emotions that they desire on those moments. It's not true. So that was a huge part. That's a huge part of what I experience. My work ethic is substantially greater than most humans. Partly because of my personality, partly because I don't believe in everything I just said about happiness, and partly because I want to live my life like that. I enjoy dedicating my entire life to work. Most people that work in today's day and age are very concerned about burnout. I don't give a flying fuck about burnout. I take care of myself when I need it, which for me happens to be a lot less than most people. Doesn't mean I don't get tired. I'm tired now making this. I had been up, went to the gym this morning for 2 hours, deadlifted and squatted. I had, which is a luxury, by the way. I think I just had 8 1-to-1s in a row, 7 1-to-1s in a row. And I have 3 more 1-to-1s after this, and I have some other stuff in my other business I have to take care of. And then we have a team meeting with in my business tonight at a restaurant at 7:30, which starts 15 hours after I've woken up. That's just what I like to do. I don't have to do that. So my ability to handle those things has developed over the years of wanting to push myself more and more and more and more. But it's certainly not a bliss state. I have to keep reiterating that because I can't tell you how many people think they're going to reach recovery and things are going to be rainbows and sunshines and butterflies. They're not. And you can always tell when someone has really good acceptance because they say that. Another thing about OCD recovery that I've noticed is my ability to just hear people, allow them to speak, and not allow it to affect me at a really deep level. It doesn't mean I don't get annoyed and don't slip up. I'm a human. But for the most part, 95% of the time, people could just complain, yell at me, tell me I'm stupid, tell me I'm not qualified to work with OCD, tell me I'm dumb at something. It doesn't matter what it is. It just doesn't really affect me. It has nothing to do with I don't care what people say about me. That's a complete myth. I care. It affects me to a healthy degree. So you hear people all the time I don't care what by the way, this was me. I don't care what anyone says about me. That's not true. You do for the most part. But if you have to keep telling people all the time that you don't care what people say about you, you care a lot. You care a lot what people say about you. I could just sit in silence and have a conversation with someone and they can disagree with everything I say, feel some frustration in my body in a healthy dosage. I always use the metronome example, remember? Healthy metronome of emotions. Most people are swinging. The metronome is hitting the edges. Extreme anger and frustration. Extreme yelling at people. That gets views, and this is not as exciting as a video as some of these big influencers on these big podcasts screaming at people, yelling at people. I used to do that my whole life, so I understand where they're coming from, but very little insight into that communication. You have to go through something really difficult to change that. And you have to understand, in my opinion, unconditional self-life, other acceptance. It's very hard to be a rational person with rational belief systems without a basic understanding of the RBT principles. I can't see how which has mixtures of Stoicism in there and other flavors of Greco-Roman philosophy, Epicureanism. I can't see how someone's really going to be handling things in a way without that basis. And I barely complain, but of course I like to talk shit, I'm a human. And I don't really avoid anything for the most part. But again, if I'm really tired and I've been up for, 20 hours or something, and I want to move something, I move it. And, well, Nick, that sounds like avoidance. I have no fear about doing avoidance. So it doesn't stick in that way. So that's really what recovery feels like in many ways. And it's very baseline, but of course I feel things throughout my day. I feel, it's my third cup of coffee. Tired because I went to the gym this morning really early. And all the one-to-ones and dealing with people. I mean, it happens, but it's not, there's no thought in my mind about running away from that. So that's what a lot of recovery feels like. So Phil@OCDrecovery.com. Let me know what you think. Hope to hear from you soon. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day.